Lasagna is a classic for sure, but sometimes a classic just isn't enough. I am Bruno, and we're not here to follow the rules today. We're here to make a different lasagna. We're taking it in a very different direction. Think chorizo, tender chicken, a sauce so delicious that will make any other lasagna sauce jealous. And with flavors this bold and a sauce this creamy, the only thing that can go wrong is not making enough. Let's do it. First, we're building the foundation of this dish. A rich homemade broth. We're not just boiling things and hoping for the best. We're gonna roast them first. Roasting equals flavor, and trust me, your taste buds will thank you for it. Onions, garlic, red peppers, and carrots, all sliced in quarters. Drizzle with a good amount of olive oil and a pinch of salt. And here's the special touch. I'm taking the skin from our chicken thighs and tossing it onto the tray. The fat and char we'll get from that, it's going to add this incredible richness to our broth. We're roasting these vegetables at 200 Celsius for about 25 to 30 minutes. And while our veg roasts, I'll season my chicken with some salt and we'll leave it to rest to gain flavor. Once everything's nice and caramelized, we're transferring it all to a big pot along with water, bay leaves, dark soy sauce and fish sauce. Now I know fish sauce might sound weird here, but it's the secret weapon. It will add that deep umami punch without anyone realizing what's happening. I forgot to mention, I'll reserve the red pepper and the chili to use in our filling. Now in goes our chicken. Obviously I'm using chicken thighs because it's the perfect meat to take all this heat and still stay juicy and delicious. And if by any chance you prefer chicken breasts, it's time to change. We'll simmer this for about 45 minutes, just until the chicken is tender and the broth has soaked up all that incredible roasted flavor. And once the chicken is cooked, we'll let it cool down just enough to handle. Then it's time to shred it. Think small, bite-sized, juicy pieces that will blend perfectly into our lasagna. We'll strain the broth and reserve the liquid for our velouté sauce later. This stuff, pure liquid gold. Taste it, small adjust the seasoning and keep it nearby. Now it's time to bring the bold flavors. We've got chorizo, rich, smoky and packed with paprika. This is one of the game changers. We will add depth with blitzing it coarse. Think mince, but in chorizo form. In a pan, and we're tossing in that blitzed chorizo. Cook this over medium heat, stirring occasionally until it starts to render out its fat and caramelize. You'll know it's ready when your entire kitchen smells like a food festival. In goes our diced red bell pepper. This little guy adds a bit of sweetness and balances the richness of the chorizo. Let it soften for a couple of minutes, blending it into the mixture like it was born to be there. Here's where we turn up the heat, literally. Diced red chili for a punch of flavor that makes everything stand up and pay attention. Following that, I'll throw in some garlic paste because garlic makes everything better. That should be a universal truth. Then we add a sprinkle of onion powder for that subtle background flavor and smoked paprika for an extra kick of warmth. This dish will not just whisper flavor, it will shout at full volume. Let this cook for 3 to 5 minutes until everything is fragrant and slightly caramelized. The kitchen should smell like a Portuguese market crashed into an Italian trattoria, and it's beautiful. Once it's all cooked down, we mix it with our shredded chicken. Sweet, smoky, spicy. It's everything you didn't know your lasagna needed. Chicken juicy, chorizo's bold, and everything is coming together. Now that our chicken and chorizo mixture is ready to rock, it's time for the sauce. And not just any sauce, a velouté. Sounds fancy, but really it's just a rich, silky sauce that will take this lasagna to a whole new level. First up, the roux, equal part of butter and flour. Here's the twist, where we will add some tomato paste. And frying the tomato paste first will take this to another level. It will deepen the flavor, bring out its natural sweetness, and give the sauce that extra punch of richness. Stir it for a minute or two until it darkens and smells like concentrated tomato heaven. This step makes all the difference. Then we add the flour. This is what thickens the sauce and gives it that creamy, velvety texture. Stir it around for about a minute. The goal? Cook out the raw flour taste without turning it into wallpaper paste. Now we slowly add our homemade broth, this beautifully strained liquid gold, whisking it all the way. The sauce will thicken into something silky and smooth, exactly what we're aiming for. When we have this beautiful consistency, I'll add some tomato puree. It's not just a supporting role here, it's part of the soul of the sauce, giving it body and a bright, balanced flavor. Let this simmer for 3 to 5 minutes to bring all those flavors together. It's a bit like a slow dance. Not if I was dancing, I would step on someone for sure. And remember, taste and adjust your seasoning here, super important. And finally some cheese, some mozzarella for that gooey stretchy magic, and parmesan for a salty nutty kick. Stir it in until the sauce is glossy and smooth. And look at it, creamy, rich and packed with flavor. And it's got layers of flavor you just won't get from your typical bechamel. Now it's time for the fun part, putting it all together. This is where we take all those bold flavors and layer them into something epic. Always start with the thin layer of sauce in the bottom. Keeps the pasta from sticking and ensures every bite is saucy perfection. Then the lasagna sheets. Lay them down like you're building a foundation for something great, because we are. Now comes some of the chicken chorizo combo. Be generous here, we're not making diet lasagna. Spread it evenly so you get a bit of everything in each bite. Next, more sauce. Drizzle it over the filling, making sure every little bit is covered. This is what makes the lasagna rich and creamy. Then we repeat, noodles filling sauce, like a symphony of flavors building to that perfect crescendo. And we'll finish with a thick layer of sauce, topped with a generous amount of mozzarella and parmesan. This is the golden crown of our lasagna. It needs to be cheesy, bubbly, and just a little crispy. And for an extra flavor on the topping, we're adding some crispy fried onions for that extra surprise when you bite in. Into the oven it goes, 180 Celsius for about 30 to 45 minutes until golden brown and crispy. If you have a broiler, you can bake covered in foil for 30 minutes, then finish it off with a quick crisping session with the broiler. And there it is, crispy, cheesy, bubbling perfection. But don't dive in just yet, let it rest for about 20 minutes. It gives the layers time to set, so you don't end up with the lasagna landslide. Perfect layers, crunchy topping, and sauce oozing just enough. This is the moment we'll be building towards. One bite and you'll forget every lasagna you had before this. Crispy top, juicy filling, cheesy saucy layers. If this isn't perfection, I don't know what is. Alright, here we go. This is the bite we've been waiting for. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This lasagna does not mess around. It's bold, it's rich, and that chorizo, game changer. Spicy, smoky, and exactly what this dish needed. That crunchy topping, that's the MVP here. It's like a crispy blanket for all that gooey, cheesy goodness. You get soft, tender pasta, rich sauce, and then boom, crunch. This is one of those dishes where you'll want seconds, thirds, and probably a nap after. No regrets. Honestly, it's everything you didn't know lasagna could be. And I'm not saying it's life-changing, but it's definitely dinner-changing. So there you go, lasagna, but not as you know it. We've taken the classic and cranked it up with bold flavors, crispy toppings, and a whole lot of personality. And if you enjoyed the chicken lasagna, check this video here. I made some pork ribs, no smoker, no barbecue, all done in your own kitchen. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you there. Bye!